What are we getting wrong when it comes to this area of aging and longevity?
So we're not getting anything wrong, to be honest with you. Okay. It's where we start the process. I saw a quick little snippet yesterday. If you're not exercising in your 30s, right, you're going to manifest that in your 70s.
Mm,
Okay. There's a great statistic, very large proportion of our population has musculoskeletal issues. And by that, I mean knee pain, hip pain, back pain. Okay. It's a massive disability that's compensated through insurance companies. And musculoskeletal issues, if by the time you are in pain at 35, ready? It could greatly impact your life where you may lose an entire decade of life. Now, let me explain that.
whoa. Yeah. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Yeah.
Starting to scare me, by the way.
So let's assume this pain is chronic. Okay. You weren't in a car accident or something like that. It's arthritis, right? You've got some degenerative arthritis in your knees, your ankles, your hips, and it slows you down. Now, let's remember that when we say that we work for a living, we don't actually go out and shovel dirt anymore or crops. When we work for a living, we sit down, we adjust our keyboard, we turn on our audio and technological equipment, and we sit. So, just as a function of our society,
Those folks
yeah.
that are listening and want to see it, we've got it featured on our video side.
So, we're already sitting, and that's going to, exacerbate the lack of mobility that we have. But here's the message that I'm trying to send you. When we're in pain, we move less.
Mm,
Okay. So it hurts even to walk or to lift weights and do the things we know that will allow us to live healthful lives with strong bones and et cetera. So when we stop exercising because of pain, we gain weight. So now we're dealing with some obesity and the comorbidities or the things that also happen when we're obese. All right. High
mhm.
blood pressure, cholesterol may go up, pre-diabetes, metabolic syndrome, all of these types of things. So it's a catch 22 if we're not moving. And moving actually is a great pain reducer. But by the time we're 35, we can almost project how we're going to die.
Mm,
I don't mean to scare you, but we can see that down the road, we're going to start to get sick. And if we really, really don't work for a living, and I had a former student who studied truck drivers, long haul, over the road truck drivers, 8 to 10 hours a day in a cab with no access to sports equipment and stuff like that. They're going to die a decade earlier. That's one occupation that leaves the planet earlier than others as well. But here's an important point, and it's kind of off to the side, but it's not really. When my student would ask these truck drivers, he studied them every night at a truck stop for 6 months, and he would ask them, who is a person in your profession that you feel values you and in your work as a truck driver, who's the person that makes sure that they know that, you're a part of the organization? And without fail, almost every single one of them said, the dispatcher, the person who's telling me where I have to go that day. That's as high on the food chain that they felt valued. I mean, they had
mm.
bosses, they had all sorts of other people, but because of that, they really felt that their quality of life was not as great. And they're sitting, all of that put together, man, they're going to age. And really, I think what you're talking about when you're aging is how healthy will we be? How
Right.
functional will we be? Those are the types of things that we need to talk about. You and I had a conversation. I don't mean to spill the beans a little bit here. You and I had a conversation about the benefits of walking because we like to keep it simple.
Right.
Okay. Walking is the single greatest thing you can do to ward off or stave off dementia and Alzheimer's. Very simple reason why. When we're walking, we're creating blood flow and oxygen, and that goes right up to our brain and keeps our brain healthy, right? If it has blood and oxygen, it's going to function for a much longer period of time. When we're sedentary, it's not getting the blood and oxygen it needs. And it, like anything else, it has a lifespan. So that's the good news. But Rolando, I'm going to add one more thing. One more thing. Walking is great, but don't have it be the sole metric for staving off aging. If you can get down on the ground, and I know you have a son, man, get down on the ground and roll around with him because what we call groundwork, just bending over, sitting down, getting back up, will help build our bone and also add to the equation of living longer. So, word off of aging is keep moving if you can. Don't stop. Keep moving if you can. But God, half of us is going to have musculoskeletal issues.
It sounds so simple. And I cannot
Simple.
believe how, if I'm just listening, you're okay, walk, get on the ground, do bear and crab walk and frog walking kind of thing. I've been seeing something on the internet floating around that as well, and how it helps mobility, because once you get older, I mean, you tell me, you're the researcher. When you get older, sometimes falling has more damage to the body and to your health than a lot of other things.
When you fall at what we call it the old, that's people over the age of 84, 85. Obviously, our bones have become more brittle. We had a chunk in life where we could make those bones really strong. And there's a point at which afterwards we can continue to do some of the things they recommend. They're still going to become more porous and more brittle. That's why, we need to get on the ground and put some resistance on those things. And it is simple. You don't have to YouTube this. You don't have to find the expert in crawling on the ground. Just do it. Just get on the ground and pick up litter, rake some leaves. Dave's from the great Northeast, man. He knows about raking leaves. This is one of the greatest exercises you can do. One of my favorite sayings is a man or woman who chops their own wood is warmed twice,
Interesting.
right? So you get warm chopping the wood and then you get warm burning the wood. Get out there and just don't complicate it. You don't have to go to YouTube to know that walking and moving around a little bit is going to be good for you.